Hey there, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Well, I was thinking about doing this topic a couple days ago, and then it happened again, so now I have to do it because there was a school district that closed because there was a threat. South Lake Carroll High School had their campuses closed. They received a threat. Someone's going to shoot up the place, and okay, look, I know school shootings, a few have happened in our area this year, and it's something that has been a hot topic ever since Columbine, basically, and people are hyperventilating about it, and we're kind of used to it, but it's still irrational. And then I had another story that came out, and we found out that several students collaborated on a document for a watch list that had the names of 25 students and 7 staff members. And it's being put forth as a kill list. So Northwest ISD middle schoolers had their campus closed for the day. And okay, that's the news headlines as it stands today. But these are just the current iterations of an ongoing issue that I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Okay, so yes, the schools did get a threat. And if you're saying, well, what should they do? Should they just do nothing? No, they should find out who made the threat and punish them. Yeah, that's it. End of story. We don't need to close campuses. It doesn't work like that. But this is also not just about school shootings. This is about schools in general. And let me rope in a couple other things that, as a parent, have really grinded my gears. They stopped classes for way too much stuff today. I've gone and done the analysis. And there's 52 weeks out of the year. From that, a big chunk of it, 11 weeks, summer vacation. So there's really only 41 weeks out of the year that are on the school schedule. Of those 41 weeks, the number of weeks where they go full all day, beginning to end, no half days or early release, Monday through Friday, 21. 21 weeks out of the year, we actually get a full school year. So we stop it too much. On top of that, we stop it if it might snow, and then we started stopping it if it might rain too hard or if it already did rain too hard. We stop it if there's a school shooting nearby. But we also stopped it a few years ago when there was a virus that was 99.97% survivable for kids of school age. We've now stopped classes in many college campuses for protesters supporting Hamas. This is on top of stopping classes for bad weather. This is on top of stopping classes for summer and 2 weeks at Christmas and fall break and spring break. And well, James, this is a real threat. You know, this is dangerous for our kids. Is it? Is it? Because, I mean, anything a grocery bag can be dangerous to your kid. Should we teach them to be scared of grocery bags? Or should we teach them, don't put the grocery bag over your head, how to properly handle a grocery bag? And I would like to point out that, okay, guns are a very teeny tiny threat to your kid. I'm not going to say no kid ever dies from a gun at a school, but there are many, many threats that you are leapfrogging over that are far more likely to hurt your kid than a school shooting. Your kid is, by order of magnitude, more likely to die from a bicycle accident, more likely to die from choking, by being shot, not at a school shooting, but being shot by a police, boating accident. There's so many of these risks to your kids that are far more likely to happen. And it's not like, well, there's a few more every year. No. They're 10 times more likely to die drowning than in a school shooting. Now, let me ask you, Northwest ISD, you guys, are y'all going to have any special drills for all the kids that drown? You're going to teach them how to tread water? Hey, South Lake Carroll, do you have any emergency drills or situations for when there's too much standing water? Oh, that puddle might be too deep. Kids drown. Better close class. Oh, my goodness. That river is over its banks. Better close class. Too much water. Uh-oh. Someone built a swimming pool within 1,000 feet of a school. This is a clear and present danger to our kids. We've got to stop it. Sounds irrational. Sounds dumb, right? Your kid's 10 times more likely to die from drowning. We don't have swim lessons in school. We don't have emergency drowning drills. We don't have lifeguard classes. You don't have to stop and have someone come in and explain to your kid, like, hey, if you see someone floating in a pool, this is how you go save their life. No, none of that. But we have it for guns. Why is that? I said your kid's more likely to die from a bicycle accident. Now, it's not 10 times more likely than drowning, but it's like 5 times more likely to die from a bicycle accident. Do we have bike lessons in schools? Do we have emergency biking drills? If there's a bicycle accident in the vicinity, do we close campus? Do we have any sort of program to address that threat to your kid that is far more likely to cause them harm than guns at a school? Well, what about choking? Kids more likely to die of choking. Do schools close when someone says they aren't going to chew their food thoroughly? I mean, do we have any program set up for any of these other dangers that are far more likely to harm your kid than guns? No, we don't. Here's my favorite one, though, because we all recognize lightning strike. You know, it's like your likelihood of winning the lottery is you're more likely to be struck by lightning. And that's supposed to be like, oh, my goodness. Well, that makes it so ridiculous and beyond the pale that it's absurd to even pursue. Well, more people are struck by lightning every year than hit in school shootings. Do we require rubber sole shoes? Do we cancel school when there's a lightning flash over the horizon? No, it wouldn't make sense. Well, gun drills make even less sense than that. I want to say this again. More people in America every year are struck by lightning than shot in a school shooting. But we don't do anything about that. If we don't have any other programs, because this is the conclusion here, now that you know all this, where are you going with this, Parker? Well, think about it. If you don't have programs for any of these other more deadly threats, but you do for guns, then it's not about keeping kids safe. It's not about keeping your kids from harm. It's about demonizing guns. Period. Point blank. End of story. Your kid's more likely to die being shot by a cop, but they don't have any training there, any anti-cop drills, how to survive a cop shooting or how to survive an encounter with a cop. No, because we all recognize that to be that scared of cops is wildly irrational, probably counterproductive, and might even lead to worse outcomes if people aren't even thinks cops are just bloodthirsty monsters out to kill for sport with no consequences. You might have even more people resisting arrest and getting themselves in cop violent situations. But that's what I see when I see all these, oh my goodness, there was a threat, and guns are such an ever-present danger that we've got to keep closing class over and over and over from the slightest threat. And the kids love this. Some of these kids, they just want attention. They don't feel loved. They're trying to get on their dad's radar. And if you're going to make the whole class, the whole campus shut down from a note, that'll get some attention. That'll make you the center of somebody's world, at least for a minute. So, yeah, that's what I think about you people closing campus for the slightest idea that there may be a threat of some violence somewhere on some campus. It's ridiculous. Mathematically speaking, logically speaking, rationally speaking, it is an irrational response. And it's nakedly anti-gun, and I don't like it. Stop it. Coming up next, you're going to get another edition of First Impressions. Today, Del Poland's going to review the first episode of Married with Children and Modern Family. This will be the Ed O'Neill episode coming up next on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.